Right, guys, welcome back to Team Insane Trading. This is another video on the Rob Booker indicator. This time, what I want to do is show the way I trade it in terms of back testing and then replaying it. And this is how I sort of trade when I'm trading. Now, it can be quite profitable, um, but the crux of this is I want to show you the trades I do and don't take, if you know what I mean. So what we're going to do, we're going to play it out till we see some indicators come up. So it's quite volatile. I do trade early morning, pre-market of London session, purely because I go to work full time. I have to get trades in when I can. They're not always the greatest trades pre-market, but there is some good trades to be had. So um, let's see what we come up with. Right. So we have an indicator from Rob Booker. So we're here. We're in this area here. So we've got a sell indicator. The MACD for me is crossing over, but not quite where I'd like it. Doesn't look right to me, but we'll have a look here and see what. I probably wouldn't take this trade, so I'm going to put the short position on. I'm going to put a 15 pip stop loss, and we're going to go for a 1 to 1.5. But I probably wouldn't take this trade. And the reason I wouldn't take this trade is because that doesn't look right to me. It doesn't look right. It hasn't crossed fully over. This has already crossed over. So I'm not looking to probably take this trade. But we'll see what it pans out at. There we go. We're stopped out. We're stopped out here. So I wouldn't have took this trade, and purely because this didn't cross over fully. This was already crossed over, and I like them both to cross over at the same time. And that's just my preference. It's how I interpret what Rob Booker is saying when he's looking at this reversal indicator. So that's my preference. So this is a trade we won't take. So we'll get rid of that, and we'll go for the next candle. There we go. Right. So this little, a bit of a doji candle, but it's a bit bigger. We're definitely going to take this. And the reason we're going to take this is because when that candle appears and that indicator, the MACD's crossing over, the stochastics are crossing over from overbought. Now, not massively, but enough for me to take this trade and take a risk. So we'll go again with a short position. And we'll aim for this high, and we'll aim for a 1 to 1.5. There we go. There we go. So we're on this candle, 1 to 1.5. Let's see what happens. Oh, it's bouncing around a little bit. It's going now. Go on. There we go. Right. So that would be a 1 to 1.5 win for us. And sort of perfect timing. just before market opening, it does get a bit volatile, and then as the market opens, it tends to. I don't like trading the first hour of market opening, so let's carry on. There we go. Right, we have a signal. So it's a sell signal. Now, another thing here as well that I don't like trading is a green indecisive doji candle on a sell signal. It just doesn't sit right with me. We've got MACD crossing over. Really? No, it's not. It's not. It's bouncing in it. And this is already below the line. It's not overbought. So we ain't going to take this. We'll put an indicator on just to see what happens if we did. And we'll go for let's go for a 20 pip stop loss. I normally trade a 15, so I will change it to a 15 actually, because I'll trade how I would trade it. I either trade a 15 or the recent high, but that's quite a short high there. But God, this is odd. Here we go. Let's do that. And let's see what it does. I think we were stopped out there. We were stopped out there on that candle. So to me, that's a loss. So we've got one win, one loss. And yeah, we're stopped out on that. But we have a better signal here. What time are we on? We're on 11 o'clock. So this is a better signal. I think I would take this based on the crossover. And we'll take that there. We'll put a 15 pip stop loss. And we'll go for a 1 to 1.5. Don't forget, this trade never happened. So, sorry. This trade never happened. So, we wouldn't have took that anyway. But this one I would probably take. And we'll see what happens. And we get stopped out. And that's the thing about this indicator. It is unpredictable at times. This to me looks right, but I don't like doing sells on green candles. To be fair, they just don't sit right with me. But I would probably take that based on the stochastics and the MACD. Maybe I have to change the way I think and just not trade those green candles if a sell signal comes, and we'll see what comes of it. But so we're out there. So that's a 1-1. Here we go. Sorry, a bit late on that, guys. Bit late on that. Another indecisive candle, but everything's showing up how it should be this time. MACD's crossing over. We're coming from over, bought, and crossing over. So we would take this, and it looks as though it would have been a nice sell. So again, we'll put a 15. We'll take a 1 to 1.5, and Yeah, it looks as though we've got a nice win there. I'm happy with that trade. Here we go. So we got a buy signal. Perfect crossover. Perfect signal. So let's put a buy here with a stop loss just below that low and a 1 to 1.5. And let's see what it does. Looks like a good trade. Let's go in. Let's go in. Yes. We got it there. So we got it here. I think we would have got take profit there before it dips back. Now, I mean, if not, and we'd have left the trade anyway, we wouldn't have traded this. I wouldn't have traded that purely because it's in that first hour of the New York session, and you just don't know what's going to happen at that point. But because this was going anyway, we'd have either took profit here on those two wicks, and if we didn't, we'd have certainly took profit at that point when the markets switched over to the New York session. So for me, cracking trade. So we've got a 3 to 1 win there. So plenty of profitability in those trades. Would I take 4 trades on the trot? Maybe not, but I think 2 to 3 trades a day is enough for anybody. But when you're scalping, if you're in front of the charts, fantastic. I've got a 9 to 5. I've got to work. So yeah. I think we'll call it a day there. I'd be happy with those trades, 3 to 1, and we're making money. We're making bunts, aren't we? So, you know, if you like the content, guys, please subscribe. Please like the video. Please comment. I'm here for learning. So any help you guys can give me as well. You might call this bullshit. So if it is, call it out, guys. I don't mind. Your comments mean everything to me. So if what I'm saying or what I'm trading is shit, just call it out. But you can see proofs in the pudding there. 3 wins and 1 loss. So happy days. Like I say, hit the like, hit the subscribe, and come back for some more content, guys. Have a good day.